Yeah. You're in the presence of the realest essence. I've been serving lessons since the days of my adolescence. On the Cypress block, young buck, holding it like we knew it all. Not afraid to do it all. Matter of fact, I look back and do it all. I can remember the haters say the game will ruin y'all. What's that to me? Don't give about a hater. Let them like the in my paper.
They call me Big Dog, riding with the hillbillies. Q-Bone stallion with the lip. Really became a boss many years back. When I'm gone, can be pull your tears back. We put the bang and produce. You got no chance of hanging. They take the tails when you're flipping the quarter. We ain't slowing down, we crashing through the border.
So let the rhythm hit him, just let the rhythm hit him. Cause when you feel it in your soul, lift the sound system. Let's turn it up, a little louder, turn it up, a little louder, turn it up. We never turn it down, universal sound. When we hold the pound, take a look around. When we touch the town, knock the way, stomping in my big black chain.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the New York Giants and the Green Bay Packers. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Taken in at the 3. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion. And sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Throwing on second and long. Jones. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. So this matchup, the second of 3 games in London this year. Vikings and Saints were here last week, and then the Broncos and Jags, they'll be at Wembley at the end of the month. Plus this year, remember, a 4th European game, our first one ever in Munich, Germany. And it'll be the Bucs and the Seahawks November 13th. This is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long. Throwing, Jones. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. That'll give him 8 that time. And that's going to make it 4th down. On 4th down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Giants will take over possession here up at the 44.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. They begin with a run by Barkley. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. This defense for the Packers, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Now Jones. He finds his man, complete. That's Hudson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And they'll run for it with Barkley. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Operating from the gun. Jones over the middle, caught by Bellinger. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On 3rd down, Barkley. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal. And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Rodgers now to throw. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Clock running, under a minute to go now here in a fast-moving first quarter. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith.
And the Giants are going to take possession of the football.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
A first down carry for Barkley. And some room to maneuver. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Gano the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
The Packers at 3-1 here through their first 4 games.
And they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants 16. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. He's got Watson. It's caught. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Packers are back within a score. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Extra point up and good by Crosby, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. After the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Running again with Barkley on second down. 60 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd and 2, Jones to Barkley on the check down. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Well, they opted not to run it. They completed the pass on 3rd and 2, but they lost yardage to bring up 4.
Well, give credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They snuffed out the play. But it does bring into question, 1, the play call, because they didn't run the ball there. They could have run it. And 2, just not getting it. That's got to be deflating for them.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated Bruce. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers. He'll find Lazard here over the middle. They find some open field here. Touchdown, Packers. Allen Lazard, 54 yards. And the Packers have moved out in front. Now Crosby for the point after. And that makes it 14-10. After the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
He's got Bellinger.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And his throw is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
The Giants on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Jones. Packer pressure, and down he goes. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're starting to put some space here. The first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. On 2nd and 10, Rodgers. That's complete to Lazard. His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up 3rd down now. Now Rodgers.
Now swing pass for Dillon.
And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. Jones now throwing to start the drive.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it.
And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Crosby with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 4.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback. On to punt, Jamie Gillen. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He'll let this go deep for Lazard. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least 1 practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jones. He'll dump this down to Matt Breida. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Looking for his receiver, Sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On now is Mason Crosby, who's hit from as far as 58 in his career. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number one. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This will be from 56 yards out. And that one will be no good. He never had it online. It's well wide to the left, and this will remain an 18-point lead.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The decision is to decline it and not give him the down bat.
They might as well have sent a skywriter above the stadium saying, we don't think you can get the first down against our defense by that decision.
And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And who's got it? The Giants! The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Back to throw. Jones. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hudson. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And they get Jones for the 3rd time in this ball game.
Adrian Amos with a pick. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And they open the lead up now to 25. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Barkley, inside handoff. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a 1st down.
I'll tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They'll go to Barkley again.
And he'll get about 2 there to the 36. Sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Here's Jamie Gillendow as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt.
And out will come the offense as they take over. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers.
He finds his man. It's Charlie Kolar. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
26.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers.
A check down here to Jones.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll make it second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Trucks over him. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing Jones. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, they sent the power set out there, and their job is to be man-on-man and move people so they can run the football. But that time, too many men didn't get moved in the box defensively. They end up throwing him for a loss.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
Pulled in at the 24.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always...
Welcome back now here in London. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. On play action. Now Rodgers.
He hits Dobbs on the crosser.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Throwing is Rodgers. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A very solid gain of 27.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like, That's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd down and goal. Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Rodgers on fire, his 5th touchdown pass of the ball game. And the Packers are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
Boy, that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 2nd and 7, Jones. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. It's a gain of 34. Now, defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
2nd down, here's Barkley again. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Barkley. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. He will push his way down to about the 14. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down and 6.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
So it's third and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now Jones. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal.
He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. Gano's kick is good, and that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start first and 10.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run, and that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
A gain of 3, second down.
Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
They'll run with Etienne.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Packers, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town.